Joining us now is Dr. Ashish Jha, the White House COVID-19 response coordinator. Dr. Jha, good morning.
Good morning, Savannah. Thanks for having me back.
I wonder if you were able to catch up with the president either last night or early this morning. Can you tell us how he's feeling, what his symptoms are? Has he developed any further symptoms?
Yeah, so as of late last night, he was feeling fine. I think his exact words were, and I talked to his team who had a conversation with him around 10 p.m. last night. His words were, "I'm feeling just fine." He had a pretty, kind of busy day, actually. I was going to say he had a restful day, but that's actually not even true. He was in meetings most of the day, making phone calls most of the day, had a pretty I think relaxed evening, and I have not gotten an update this morning yet, and I plan to speak to him later this morning. But as of about 10 p.m. last night, he was doing well.
And any reports of fever during the course of sickness?
No fevers, no change in symptoms. Again, the sort of dry cough, the runny nose, those are his two main things that he was feeling yesterday.
You know, at 79 years old, he's obviously in a high-risk category. We worry with COVID about the lungs. How will he be monitored there at the White House to make sure the illness doesn't progress and become more severe?
Yeah, so as you might imagine, he has a personal physician who is checking in on him regularly, getting regular vital signs, as one would get with anybody, and so that's the main thing. And his personal physician's also consulting with infectious disease experts around the country, all part of the plan of what we were always planning on doing if the president got infected. And so he gets very regular check-ins. And of course, he's meeting with people all day by phone and by Zoom. And so there's lots of eyes on him and making sure that he's doing great, which he is.
We've mentioned that he has been given Paxlovid, which is an antiviral therapy, a pill that you take. He has to stop his other medications that he normally takes while he's taking Paxlovid. One of them treats atrial fibrillation. So during this time period when he's off that medicine, do you worry about any increased risk of stroke?
Yeah, it's a very good question, Savannah. We do this a lot in the hospital. We have people who come in for procedures, people who come in for surgeries, where we stop these medicines for short periods of time. There really is not a meaningful increase in stroke risk during a short period of time. Obviously, he continues to be monitored, but this is something that is very common practice in clinical medicine of stopping these medicines like this for short periods of time.
How concerned are you about long COVID for a president who gets COVID, for anyone who gets COVID, but in these conditions?
Yeah, so obviously long COVID is something that is always on people's minds. But the bottom line, what we know about long COVID is if you think about, the proportion of people who end up having significant long-term symptoms, it's very small and cut substantially if you've been vaccinated and boosted, which this president has. So obviously he's going to be monitored by his physician, and we're all expecting and hoping for a swift and full recovery, but he will be monitored closely over the next few days to make sure that he's heading in the right direction. As
we've seen over the course of this pandemic, there was the original COVID, and there have been variants. Some seem to be more severe than others. We know that this latest one, BA.5, is the most contagious that we've seen. Do you assume that the president has been infected with the BA.5 Omicron subvariant? And where does that fit on the spectrum of severity?
Yeah, two good questions. So first of all, BA.5 is the most dominant variant. About 70–80% of infections in America are from BA.5. So that's possible, but instead of speculating, we're actually getting that virus that he's been infected with sequenced. We'll have a more definitive answer to that in the upcoming days, as soon as that sequencing is done. In terms of what we know about BA.5, Savannah, we know it's extremely contagious, immune evasive. If you've been previously infected, you have a high risk of getting reinfected. If you haven't had a vaccine in a while, you have a high risk of getting a breakthrough. That's why we have recommended that everybody get up to speed on vaccines. If you're over 50, haven't gotten a shot this year, you got to go out and get one. It's the best way to make sure that you don't end up having serious illness.
All right, Dr. Jha, good to have the update from you this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.